No, I'm not on the set of Star Wars today, nor am I in a Halo game, but I am riding something that would look at home in both of those. This is the new Can-Am Canyon. This is a really interesting machine. It's a three-wheeler with some off-road intentions. It's got more ground clearance, it's got some special off-road modes, and in this video, well, we got a one-take POV first ride of the Can-Am Canyon. Now, quick walk around here. Crazy LED pod style headlights. We got 6.3 inches of ground clearance, up from 4.5 on the standard Spider. We've got some off-road oriented tires, and then check out the storage back here. Color matched aluminum cases. Here's the rear angle. Pretty crazy design, folks. So let's get all suited up, and then we'll get this thing out on the road and see what the heck Can-Am is doing with this crazy looking spaceship. A keen observer might notice something interesting here as I go through this beautiful old tunnel. Up ahead are four faces on a mountain, and that's because today I'm out here in South Dakota, in the Black Hills of South Dakota. About to be run over by an old person in a Buick. It's a pretty typical experience, but there it is! Mount Rushmore, baby! Woohoo! All right, now let's get to grips with this Can-Am. Let me do it with my gloves here. The Can-Am Spider debuted back in 2007, a pretty groundbreaking three-wheeled unit. And it's been evolving ever since. And they've had special editions and new generations, but there's never been one quite like this, because the Can-Am is what happens when the Spider goes to REI and picks out some hiking boots. This is the Raptor version of the Can-Am Spider, and it's got a really cool look. You know, I was kind of kidding around at the start that it looks like it should be something out of Star Wars, but really, it looks like it could be something out of Star Wars. It is that crazy looking. And whenever you put chunky off-road tires on anything, I don't care what it is, it could be a milk truck, it's gonna look a lot cooler. And boy, does this Can-Am look a lot cooler. Now, let's talk about the basis of what makes this thing tick. So, between my legs is a 1,330cc Rotax 3-cylinder powertrain. Same engine you're gonna find in a Spider. Actually, a lot of the stuff I'm looking at is the same as a Spider. The same 10-inch screen here, the same basic controls. That's all more or less carryover from the road-going version to the Raptor-fied one. Where things get different is in the suspension. So 6.3 inches of ground clearance instead of 4.5. This is beautiful. Look at the way these roads interact. This is like that's crazy. That looks like a Hot Wheels set. So more ground clearance, 10.2 inches of suspension travel in the front, 9 inches of suspension travel in the rear. This lady taking pictures is committed to her craft. I respect her dearly, but I'm going to pass her because we're going too slow. There we go. So what that means is that you can take this Can-Am on rough, rutted out road, but Can-Am wants to make it very clear, this is not intended to be an off-road unit first and foremost. This is an on-road unit. Ooh, there we go. Now we got some speed going that can tackle some dirt. Now today, in this first ride video, we're probably going to be limited to this wet pavement, but over at TFL Off-Road I will have a video that will kind of showcase some of the dirt going capability of this machine. It's not much of a rever compared to some motorcycles. I think it tops out around 8,000 RPM. Wow, look at this road, this is amazing. But when you get it over 5, that's where it really comes to life, and it just wants to keep moving. It's not a particularly sonorous sounding engine. It's not an engine I really want to listen to in the upper RPMs for a long time. Let's see if it'll allow a downshift into first. There we go. It gets a little buzzy over 5,000-6,000 RPM. However, very smooth. And that is the goal of this whole unit. It's supposed to be an adventure trike, more or less. An adventure three-wheel, right? This is the machine that allows you to go hit the open road, and then if that open road happens to turn to dirt, you're still good to keep cruising. So it's not supposed to be a Moab barnstormer, it's not supposed to do the Rubicon, it's just supposed to expand the bandwidth of the standard Spider. And I think that what we proved this morning is that it really does, and it has some off-road goodies to help it go places a normal one couldn't go. It's got the belt protector, it has some skid plating, it's got the chunkier tires, it even has some different drive modes. So if I go into the TFT here and cycle through, check this out. So you've got Sport, All-Road, and Rally. So All-Road and Rally are going to be more of your dirt specs. Sport and then normal and custom in this top trim, which allows you to really dial in a bunch of different settings. But I'm going to go into the normal mode. We're going to start there and then we can dial it in Sport. Let's roll on that throttle. So I would say it's quick enough for what it is, but it's not a blistering acceleration experience. It's fun and it's definitely enough power to let you have fun with, but it's not, no, it's no sport bike, I'll put it to you that way. But one thing I am very impressed with is the overall stability. Now I am for sure 100% a beginner rider, and I'm shocked at what this machine will let me do with just 3 wheels, because in the automotive space you hear 3 wheels and you think of Reliant Robins tipping over. This machine is surprisingly stable, and what's nice is the limits of grip will tell you when it's had enough before it'll flop over. So you actually start to get some understeer before you're anywhere near risking rolling this thing. And then it's got advanced traction control to help control any kind of wheel lift that may happen in extreme situations. All right, here we go, merging onto the main road here. Stopping at the stop sign. Let's see if we can get onto the accelerator. Let's point it in a straight line first. There we go. All right, not bad. The one thing I will say, I'm very grateful that this thing has traction control, because you are able to slide it around a little bit in the rally setting, which is the loosest traction control setting, and that's fun. And when you're prepared for it, it's awesome being able to step the rear end out a little bit. But there are a lot of instances just cruising around these canyons where you feel a sudden throttle cut and you realize, oh shoot, I have just reached the edge of grip. And the 3-wheeler has told me before I got into any kind of trouble, and that's exactly what I like to see as a beginner. And if you don't have it in the rally setting, it's very limiting as to how much slip angle it will give you. Oh gosh, I keep doing that. The transmission in this unit takes a little bit of getting used to if you're used to clutch levers and brake levers, because it's down here on the left grip, and you push in on this paddle to upshift and you pull back to downshift. What's odd about it though is it's a semi-automatic. So what that means is there's no clutch. It does it all automatically. Oh look, there's Rushmore. Oh, what a shot. That's pretty cool. The Black Hills are gorgeous. So it'll downshift automatically, but you have to upshift manually. So it's like half of an automatic transmission. It will do some of the work for you, but then you have to upshift manually, which is kind of a funky thing. So weird seeing side-by-sides on the road. And that's the thing about this this Canyon, is it as capable as a side-by-side? Absolutely 100% no. Absolutely not. It's nowhere near as capable as a side-by-side. However, it is fully road legal in all 50 states. You do need a motorcycle endorsement, but as long as you have that, you can ride these Spiders wherever you would ride any other bike or drive a car, whereas a side-by-side, in most states, you're trailering it to the trail. So you can do light trails on this straight from home, just like you would on a motorcycle. But a motorcycle, you go much further into the depth of things, and motorcycle 2 is much better off-road, more clearance, much narrower, so single track is an option. And this isn't also as good as a side-by-side, because with the 3 wheels, you end up hitting a lot of stuff with that back wheel. More than I would typically intend, because you can't straddle anything. You can sort of straddle things right by your foot. There's a little gap between the front wheels and the rear, but it's tricky to get right, that's for sure. So So some of the features in this does have Apple CarPlay. It's very unintuitive. You need a headset for it to activate. That's a big miss. I don't know what the heck they were thinking there. TFT, pretty easy, straightforward to use. I can go through using this little toggle on my left side of the handlebars, or if I'm stopped, I can use my fingers. The big downside with this, oh look, there's Washington. Hi, Washington. The big downside to this unit is the price. Now it starts at $25,300, but this one has spec. These are closer to $32,000. That's some pretty big money. Pretty big money for any kind of toy. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm there at 32 grand. Now, of course, the Red Rock does have, the top trim I'm in, does have some nice things over the standard version. There is a reverse gear with the backup camera that you get on the Red Rock. That's quite nice. It's got adjustable active suspension. It's got the color matched aluminum cases. All that's good stuff. But $32,000.
Off about a quarter, half a mile back. That's the one that I plan to stop.
Ooh, not talking to me. $32,000 is a lot of money for this unit. I think it looks cool. It's fun to ride. It's good on mild trails. But I'm just not sure I'm there for the price. Long distance, it's great. You can have more fun than you'd ever expect, and it's super easy to ride. Those are the benefits. The downsides, it's not really all that off-road capable, being just one-wheel drive, not a lot of ground clearance, and $32,000. So let me know what you think of the Can-Am Canyon in the comment section below. Is this a machine you would consider, or is this a pass? I had a ton of fun out here in South Dakota. The big takeaway, just come to South Dakota. Go visit Rushmore, go explore the Black Hills, absolutely incredible. Guys, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you for joining me. Head over to TFL Off-Road if you want a more in-depth riding video. And we got some dirt over there as well. And yeah, we'll see you next time.